Good afternoon to all. Let me talk about today's topic, our environment. Today we are going to discuss about three topics. What do animals eat, adaptations and ecological pyramids. Before that, I want to ask few questions. What are our basic needs? Number 1, air, water, food, shelter. These are the basic needs we are getting from our environment. See children, the air, water, food are our primary needs. Shelter and cloth are secondary needs. See children, where we get from those things? We get those things from our environment. See children, our environment is a source of so many things. Animals, plants, they get food from our surroundings. From where the animals get food? Very simple, animals get from plants. Plants are producers. They prepare own food material through the photosynthesis. Some plants unable to produce food because they are heterotrophs. They depends on other plants. One more question I want to ask. What is your favorite food item? Very simple. I think there is a long list which includes idli sambar, puri, pulihora, brinjal, etc. Like us, animals need food for acquiring of energy. There are different types of animals, they have different food habits. See children, some of the animals eat plant material like leaves, flowers, fruits, some birds eat nuts. Some of the animals eat other animal. What did you understand here? There are different types of animals having different food habits. See children, what do animals eat? Like us, animals eat grass, parts of the plants like fruits, seeds, etc. Some of the animals eat, you can see here, this is fish, this is meat. Some of the animal get energy from by eating grass, some of the animals food in the form of fish, some of the animal prefer to the meat. So these are the main food items animals get energy. See children, next, how do animals gather food? In our ecosystem, each animal has its own style to get or gather food. There are various tools. By using them, animals collect the food and taking into the mouth. See children, in this picture, this is hummingbird. It is the smallest bird. It has a long beak with a needle like long beak. With help of it gather the nectar from the opened flower. See here, this is a diversity of beaks and diversity of tongue. So there is a difference between shape of the beak, structure of the beak and shape and structure of the tongue. So according to the food available in the surroundings, the animals modified their body parts to get food. In this picture, this is woodpecker. It has a strong beak. With help of it remove the bark and collect the food in the form of insects and pests. So this is another animal, eagle. It has sharp claws and sharp beak. With help of them, the eagle catch the food and gather the food with help of a sharp beak. You can see here, this is a wild animal, lion. It has sharp teeth. With help of them, the animal hunt the another animal and acquire the food. See children, this is also another animal. It has a strong and long legs with well developed muscles. With help of muscle strength, the animal move very fast and hunt the another prey animal. So here this is a beak used for collection of food. This is a diversity of beaks. This is strong beak. Here sharp claws and sharp beak. Here sharp teeth. Here long and strong legs. What did you understand here? Yes, in our system, each and every organism to collect food or to better survival, they modify to the different parts. In their body, according to the surrounding changes, the animal get modified. The permanent modifications taken place in the organism for better survival is called adaptation. Once again repeat, what is adaptation? Adaptation is a permanent change take place in the body according to the food available in the ecosystem is called adaptation. Based on the food habits, animals are divided into three categories. Number 1, herbivores. Number 2, carnivores. Number 3, omnivores. Based on the food habits. You can see the picture. Herbivores are animals get energy from eating of grass. Based on the size, the herbivores again classified into three categories. Small size herbivore, medium size herbivore, example goat, and large size herbivore, example cow and camel. Herbivores adapted to the grass internally. The digestive system of herbivore animal divided into different chambers with help of microorganisms or simple called microbiota. With help of microbiota, they digest the hard chemical cellulose. Cellulose is a sugar which is present in cell wall, the outermost layer of the cell made up of cellulose. On earth, no animal digests the cellulose material. With help of microbiota, all herbivore animals digest the hard material cellulose. Coming to the next, carnivores. Carnivores are animals gather the food by hunting. See children, so this is a eagle with help of claws. Just now I told that claws and sharp beak, it gather the food. This is a snake carnivore gathering of food from the surrounding in the form of frog. This is wild animal lion with help of sharp teeth, it collect the food from the surroundings. Another important one you can see here, this is a dragonfly. Dragonfly is a carnivore animal. It eats some insects and larvae. What is the importance of dragonfly here? Dragonfly is an important animal, act as a biocontrol agent. What we call a biocontrol agent. What is mean by biocontrol agent? Very simple. Sometimes our crop field like wheat, rice, brinjal affected by diseases with help of insects like mosquitoes. Dragonfly is a predator, always eat the another prey animal, mosquito. So the population of dragonfly high in the environment, they make the balance of dragonflies. Unfortunately, in the purpose of increasing of crop, we are using chemical fertilizers and pesticides. By using chemical fertilizers and pesticides, the dragonfly population decreases. See children, so dragonflies act as a biocontrol agent used in the integrated pest management program. You can see the next, omnivores. Omnivores are different type of animals. The food habit is very different. Sometimes it prefer to eat plant material, sometimes prefer to the animal material. So depends on the source, depends on available of the food material. The animal sometimes eat plant material as well as animal material. You can see the picture. This is rat. Most of the cases it gather the food from the nuts, sometimes insects. Squirrel, both are small sized omnivores. This is our national bird, peacock. It is also omnivore. Sometimes it gather food from the grass, sometimes hunt the snake. So this is dog, another omnivore, and human beings also example for omnivores. So depends on the food habit, animals are divided into three categories. Number 1, herbivores. Number 2, carnivores. Number 3, omnivores. Now I want to go to another topic, plant adaptations. Plant adaptations. So just now I told that adaptations are permanent changes taken place in the body according to surrounding environment. First you can see the plant name is Rhizopora. Rhizopora. It found in mangrove forests like Koringa and Sundarban mangrove forests. Sundarban is a mangrove forest located in West Bengal at a confluence of Ganga, Brahmaputra, Meghna river. So the Rhizopora adapted to the surrounding conditions. Very simple. This is a main plant body stem. The underground plant body is called root system. What is the main function of the root? It acts as an anchor and absorb the water, minerals from the soil. Here the Rhizopora grow in very high salt concentration of the soil, and particularly the condition is very mud. Due to lack of oxygen, the plant produce aerial roots. Aerial roots. These are also called knees. These are also called knees. The surface of the knees we can see here. These are the small openings are called nematodes. Nematodes. With help of them, the Rhizopora gather the oxygen, exchange of gases take place in the root. So the nematodes are structurally similar to the stomata. Stomata is a small opening on leaf surface which help in the breathing or exchange of gases. So structurally the nematodes also similar to the stomata, helps in exchange of gases. See here, next one, this is Opentia. Opentia adapted to the very dry conditions. The habit of the Opentia is desert. For example, this is a normal plant with expanded leaf surface. The same plant body we can see in the desert, what will happen? Definitely the plant die. By the leaf, the increasing of surface area of the leaf exposed to the high temperature, losing of water in the form of vapor. To overcome the problem, in Opentia, the stem modified to a succulent, what we call a succulent stem or fleshy stem. The leaf modified to white color needle-like structures are called spines. So spines reduce the surface area, reducing of water vapor. Coming to the point, the stem modified to a green structure perform photosynthesis. In this plant, we can see the scotoactive stomata. Generally, depends on the opening time, stomata are two types. Number 1, photoactive opens during day and scotoactive opens during night. What are the adaptations here? Scotoactive stomata, second one leaves modified to spines, third one stem modified to succulent stem. So, with help of succulent stem the Opensia perform photosynthesis. See children, next image, this is lotus. Lotus, scientific name Neelambo nucifera. It is an aquatic plant. We can see the aquatic plant here. So, this is a flower of lotus, this is leaf. So, the outer surface of the leaf covered by a waxy coat. The waxy coat prevents wetting of the leaf material. We can see the stalk of the flower inside the water also having small air spaces. With help of them, the leaf as well as flower freely float on water surface. So, this is adaptation in aquatic system. This is in mangrove forest, this is in desert, this is in aquatic system. You can see here water hyacinth, the scientific name is Eichhornia. So, this is a invasive species. Invasive species means symbol called IAS, invasive alien species. Actually, is a non-native plant species imported from other countries. Here you can see picture. This is Eichhornia. The Eichhornia freely float on water surface with help of air which present on leaf bases. The swollen leaf base filled with gas facilitate the free floating of plant on water surface. So, this is adaptation in mangrove ecosystem, this is adaptation in desert, this is adaptation in water, this is adaptation in also water. This is free floating with help of only free floating leaves and free floating flower only, remaining plant body remains in the water. But in case of water hyacinth, the total body freely float on water surface. This is a main difference between lotus and Eichhornia. So, these are the plant adaptations we can see. Next one, adaptations in animals. You can see this is a picture of polar bear. The polar bear covered by a thick fur. It is white in color. It is very transparent, blend with the surrounding environment, and below the fur we can see the polar bear, there is a fat layer. The fat layer is also called blubber. What we call blubber? It is a layer stored by fat material. Sometimes whenever the bear exposed to the extreme conditions like very cold conditions, the blubber act as an insulator. It generate heat and maintain the body temperature. So, this is a main adaptation we can see in polar bear. Number one is fur, second fat layer is called blubber. It is also carnivore animal. With help of claws it hunt the another animal. We can see the another here, desert animal camel. It is also called desert sheep. It has a long legs. With help of long leg, the body escape from the hot surface. Second one, long eyelashes. With help of them, the camel protect by blowing sand. And the camel has voluntary closing nostrils. They also protect the camel from blowing sand. You can see here, this is a hump. It is a structure having fat molecules. On long drive, without water and without food, it means water scarcity or under food scarcity, the hump in the fat molecule undergoes metabolic reactions and release energy and water. So, this is adaptation of desert animal camel. Number one, long legs. Number two, hump, voluntary closing nostrils and high lashes. So, with help of the adaptations and enlarged foot also help the walking on soil. So with these are the adaptations in desert ecosystem animal camel. See children, this is another animal also called kangaroo rat or desert rat. So this is found in North American forest, North American desert system. It can survive without water. How this happen? Very simple. The rat synthesize water with help of a process digestion. So this is adaptation of camel in desert system. This is adaptation of rat also in desert system. This adaptation of another animal we can see in polar region. So these two conditions are very different. These are very extreme cold condition. These are very extreme hot conditions. So with help of adaptations, animals survive in the very extreme conditions. You can see the next one, adaptations in marine water. Before that, you have to learn about zones in marine water system. Based on the water light penetration, the marine system divided into 3 zones. Number 1, euphotic zone, 0 to 200 meters, 30 degree temperature. Second zone, bathyal zone from 200 meters to 2000 meter. Third zone, abyssal zone from 2000 meters to 6000 meters, temperature 2 to 3, a temperature 4 to 39 degrees centigrades. So depends on light penetration or light available in the water, the marine ecosystem divided into 3 categories. Number 1, euphotic zone. Number 2, bathyal zone. Number 3, abyssal zone. According to the light availability, the animals present in the euphotic zone, bathyal zone as well as abyssal zone adapted to the respective conditions. See here, euphotic zone, example shark. So this is an fish we can see in a euphotic zone. In euphotic zone, most of the animals are very transparent with shiny body and sharp vision. These are very, very important. Sharp vision, shiny body and transparent outer layer of the body. Here 80% of the fauna and flora we can see in euphotic zone. The second zone is bathyal zone. Best example, whale. The body is a tubular form. Due to dim light, the whale adapted to very big and very sensitive eyes. See children, next one, abyssal zone. Example, angler fish. Most of the animals in abyssal zone are saprophytic or scavengers. Due to lack of light, the complete photosynthetic rate action is completely absent here. Some animals able to produce light. Such property is called bioluminescence. Bioluminescence. This is a very important adaptation in the abyssal zone. Bioluminescence means very simple, emitting of light itself. Like firefly, the animals emit the light to catch the food or maybe protect from the other predator animal. So these are the adaptation we can see in the marine ecosystem. Once again, based on the penetration of the light, euphotic zone, bathyal zone, abyssal zone. Example, shark, whale and angler fish. You can see next, before that, zones in freshwater ecosystem. Zones in freshwater ecosystem. Freshwater. Again, the property availability of light. The freshwater ecosystem divided into 3 zones. Number 1, littoral zone, what we call littoral zone. Here we can see the snails and some insects. Next zone is limnotic zone, what we call limnotic zone. Example, algae and other plants. Best example, phytoplanktons. Phytoplanktons, these are microscopic. 90% of the photosynthetic activity we can see in limnotic zone. The third zone is called profundal zone. Profundal zone. It is a zone of saprophytes. It is a zone of saprophytes. So, like marine ecosystem, the freshwater ecosystem also divided into 3 categories. Depends on the penetration of the light. Littoral zone, limnotic zone, profundal zone. Here saprophytes, here insects and snail, here algae, plants and phytoplanktons. You can see here adaptations for floating and self defense. The first one is buoyancy. What is mean by buoyancy? It means the ability of fish freely float on water surface. You can see here, actually lungs are absent in fish. Instead of lungs, we can see the gills here. So, this is for example a fish. This is a lung like structure are called swim bladder. Swim bladder. While the fish move to water surface, the gallbladder filled with gas. It facilitates the freely floating on water surface called buoyancy. While the fish moves down, the gas comes out from the swim bladder and enters into the blade. The fish moves down. So, according to the need of the fish sometimes float on water surface by entry of gas into the swim bladder. Sometimes the fish moves down by escaping of gas from the swim bladder. So, this is one of the adaptation we can see in the aquatic system, buoyancy. See children, this is clownfish. Here 2 animals are there. This is a white color border here. This is called sea anemone. This is called clownfish. The clownfish and sea anemone live together in the name of symbiosis. What we call symbiosis. What is mean by symbiosis? Symbiosis is a mutual understanding of 2 different species by getting benefits. We can see the rhizobium and legume plant. The rhizobium also symbiotic relation with the legume plants and fix the nitrogen, and the rhizobium collect nitrogenous compound from the legume plant. So, this is also symbiotic relation between sea anemone and clownfish. Both are benefited. What is adaptation here? The clownfish protect itself from the another predator animal. So, sea anemone protect the clownfish here. Again the clownfish also protect the sea anemone. So, both are benefited. So, that this is also called symbiotic relationship. You can see the another important property here, camouflage. Camouflage is a colorization of the body. See here, the snake color completely green, it is blend with the surrounding conditions, means leaf. So, it is a process of colorization. All animals convert into the color according to respective environment. This property we can see in different type of animals like frog, rattlesnake, chameleon, and we can also see in some snake. So, the adaptation help to hiding of animal in the environment. This is a self defense system from the predator animal. See here, adaptation for floating. The floating adaptation here, buoyancy. Self defense adaptation is clownfish as well as camouflage. See children, I want to ask one question. Why do soldiers have green uniform with a spotted pattern? Any reason? Very simple, the uniform mixed with grass. It is also one of the protective method from another enemy. So, camouflage is a defense adaptation. Next one, hibernation. This is another property, hibernation. What is mean by hibernation? Hibernation is a process we can see in very extreme conditions. Sometimes, for example, this is an animal subjected to very cold conditions. The animal unable to complete their daily duties. To protect the body, the animal undergoes unconscious position by slow downing of all metabolic reactions. So, slow down the metabolic reactions, undergoes unconscious situation due to very extreme conditions, cold condition. So, cold condition we can face it in only winter season. So, hibernation is one of the adaptation. It help to protect the animal from very extreme conditions like cold. So, hibernation is a sleepy mode in winter condition. So, that the hibernation also called winter sleep. What we call winter sleep? We can see in a snake, frog and some other animals. So, this is a frog under hibernation. It is also called winter sleep due to inactivation of all metabolic actions. So, this is another adaptation, estivation. What we call estivation. What happen in the hibernation? Slow downing of metabolic conditions, unconscious condition according to surrounding conditions cold. The changes take place in the hibernation also in estivation. The animal undergoes unconscious situation, but here conditions are very hot. The difference here, this is a cold condition, this is a hot or summer condition. So, sleepy mode condition in winter is called hibernation, sleepy mode condition in summer is called estivation. So, with help of a difference or a specialized modification, these animals protect themselves. So, one is hibernation, we can see in winter, it is also called winter sleep. Estivation we can also call summer sleep. So, example here, polar bear. See children, completely unconscious situation. So, hibernation also called winter sleep, estivation also called summer sleep. Next one, another important compound today, food chain. What is mean by food chain? What is mean by food chain? Very simple. In our nature, one animal depends on another. Some animal gives something to the another animal, vice versa, at the same time get something from the another animal. So, the interdependent of animals here. See children, food chain means exchange of food from one animal to the another animal in a sequence is called food chain. So, transfer of food from one animal to the another animal, all are linked together is called food chain. You can see the image here, this is food chain. So, these are the plants are autotrophs, they make the food by own with help of sunlight, water and carbon dioxide. So, the process called photosynthesis. With help of photosynthesis, water and by using water, minerals and sunlight, the plant prepare own food material. So, that plants are called producers. What we call producers. This is grasshopper. The grasshopper depends on grass for its food. This is grasshopper. And frog depends on grasshopper for its food. Snake depends on frog for food. Last one, eagle depends on snake for its food. So, from producers to the top animal carnivore, the exchange of food from one place to the another place in a sequence, all are linked together, is called food chain. So, these are the producers, these all are consumers. See children, this is grass. Grass plant means it is a producer. With help of sunlight, carbon dioxide and water, by using water they prepare own food material. Then the energy transferred to the next animal, grasshopper, followed by frog, followed by snake, lastly eagle. So, the link between grass plant to the top carnivore is called food chain. Here the plants are producers. The plants are producers. From grasshoppers to eagle are called consumers. What we call consumers. Grass is a producer, grasshopper is a consumer. It is immediate to the grass, it is called primary consumer. This is secondary consumer. This is tertiary consumer. This is quaternary consumer. So, the transfer of energy from producer to the primary consumer to the secondary consumer, then tertiary consumer and quaternary consumer. This is, you can see here, this is producer, this is grasshopper. The grasshopper eating grass. It is a herbivore or omnivore or carnivore. Definitely it is a herbivore. So, definitely the primary consumers are herbivores. Then secondary consumers. Secondary consumer gather the food from grasshopper. Grasshopper is animal. So, frog definitely carnivore. Next, frog followed by snake. Snake also carnivore. Eagle also carnivore. See children, herbivore, carnivore, but this is the first carnivore. So, it is also called primary carnivore, secondary carnivore and tertiary carnivore. Very interesting here. Producer, primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer, quaternary consumer. Primary consumers always herbivores, secondary consumers always primary carnivores, tertiary consumers always secondary consumers, tertiary carnivores are secondary consumers, quaternary carnivores are tertiary consumers. Once again, primary consumers herbivore, secondary consumer primary carnivore, tertiary consumer secondary carnivore and quaternary consumer tertiary carnivore. So, the link of one animal to the another animal, it represents the energy food flow from one level to another level is called food chain. You can see here another important one, trophic level. What is mean by trophic level? Very simple. You can see here, this is a plant. Plant is a food source of grasshopper definitely. So, that the grass is a position of food for grasshopper. So, what is mean by trophical level? The trophical level always represent the position of the food. Position of the food. So, the grass located in TL1. TL1 means trophic level 1. Grasshoppers trophic level 2. Secondary consumers are primary carnivores, tropical level 3. Tertiary consumers are secondary carnivores, tropical level 4. And quaternary consumers are tertiary carnivores, tropical level 5. Usually, in a food chain, there are 4 tropical levels. Some exception, we can see the 5th level, usually 4. So, here once again, grass producer tropical level 1, grasshopper primary consumer herbivore, tropical level 2. Frog, secondary consumer, primary carnivore, tropical level 3. And snake, tertiary consumer, secondary carnivore, tropical level 4. And eagle, quaternary consumer and tertiary carnivore, tropical level 5. Here there are three aspects. One is linear movement of food, one aspect. Second one, primary consumers always herbivore, secondary consumers primary carnivore, tertiary consumers secondary carnivores, quaternary consumers tertiary carnivores. Second aspect. The third aspect is food position 1, tropical level 1, food position 2, tropical level 2, food position 3, tropical level 3, another food position tropical level 4, another one tropical level 5. So, like this you have to understand the energy food movement from one level to the another level. In the beginning I told that in the nature each and every animal depends on other. With help of grasshopper, frog, snake, eagle, the plant also get benefit. How it is possible? Very simple. After completion of their lives, the dead organic matter of grasshopper, frog, snake and eagle undergoes decomposition with help of microbes, also called saprophytes. What we call saprophytes, also called decomposers. So, the decomposer decompose dead organic matter of grasshopper, frog, snake and eagle. The total organic matter of the animals get mixed with soil, increasing of nutrient level in the soil, then increasing of soil fertility. With help of nutrients, the plant growth take place. So, in the nature, every animal depends on another. Unfortunately, due to water pollution and soil pollution, the soil microorganisms are affected. So, if the lack of or absence of the microorganisms or saprophyte in the soil with help of water and soil pollution, what will happen? The total environment polluted with dead bodies. So, the microorganism clean the environment by removal of dead bodies by process of decomposition. So, this is a interdependent interrelation between plant to the another animal, finally microorganisms. So, this is about food chain. See children, you can see the next one, food web. What is mean by food web? Any difference between food chain and food web, or both are same? What is the difference between food chain and food web? Very interesting here. Food chain do not work in isolated manner. It means one food chain interlinked with another food chain. See here, this is a grass, it is a producer, eaten by the another herbivore, then it is a food for another carnivore. So, grass, herbivore, carnivore, one food chain. See here, grass, rabbit, fox and another and carnivore, top carnivore, another food chain. Grass, rabbit and eagle, another food chain. Grass, rabbit, fox and eagle, another food chain. So, this is first food chain, second, third and fourth. In a biological system, all organisms are linked together by a web. Web means a network in manner. So, the interlocked or interconnected two more food chains is called food web. This is a linear exchange of food from one level to the another level is called food chain. Once one food chain interlocked with another food chain is called food web. It is very, very important. Food chain is a linear exchange of energy. Food web is a zigzag exchange of energy between two animals. So, this is a food chain, this is a food chain, this is a food web. So, you have to try to understand the difference between food chain and food web. This is a simple one. The interlocked several food chain is called food web. Both are we can see in the ecosystem. ecological pyramids. Next, another important one, ecological pyramids. The concept was given by Charles Elton, pioneer British ecologist, developed the ecological pyramids. What is mean by ecological pyramid? Very simple. See children, this is grass. What is the position? Tropical level 1. Second position, grasshopper. Grasshopper located in tropical level 2. Next to frog, tropical level 3. Snake, tropical level 4. And eagle, tropical level 5. Very simple. In a food chain, the all tropical levels represented in a graphic presentation, represented in the graph is called a pyramid. See here, this is the first level, this is first level, tropical level 1 are also called producers, tropical level 2 primary consumers, tropical level 3 secondary consumers, and tropical level 4 tertiary consumers. So, the graphical representation of the food tropical levels in a graph in this pyramid is called ecological pyramid. This is tropical level 1, tropical level 2, tropical level 3, tropical level 4. Producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary consumers. So, the concept was given by Charles Elton. So, the representation of the all tropical levels in a graphical presentation is called ecological pyramids. What we call ecological pyramids. Ecological pyramids generally 3 types, with 3 types. Number 1, pyramid of number. Pyramid of number. Next one, pyramid of biomass. Third one, pyramid of energy. Pyramid of energy. These are 3 types. What is pyramid of number? Very simple. This is grass, tropical level 1, and grasshopper, tropical level 2, frog, tropical level 3, snake, tropical level 4, eagle, tropical level 5. Tropical level 5. The pyramid of energy represents how many individuals which present in each level. For example, in tropical level, how many plants? Usually plants are more in number. So, this is tropical level 1. Compared to the grass plants, the grasshopper number is less. Tropical level 2. Compared to the grasshopper, the frog population is very less. So, tropical level 3. Snake population less than frog. Tropical level 4. Snake, the eagle population less than snake population. So, tropical level 5. So, from base to the top, the number of individual decreases, so that the pyramid of number straight or upright. In all ecosystem, all type of food chain, the pyramid of number is always straight or upright. Second one, see children here. So, this is a pyramid of number at base plants, herbivores, primary carnivores, and top carnivores. Tropical level 1, 2, 3, 4. What is this? Pyramid of biomass. Tropical level 1, tropical level 2, tropical level 3, tropical level 4. See, it's very simple. The pyramid of biomass represents weight of plants. Usually, tropical level to the tropical 1, the biomass or weight of the plants are more. Definitely occupy the base. The weight of the frog less than plants. Tropical level 2. Tropical level 2. tropical level 1, and the weight of the frog less than grasshopper, tropical level 3, and tropical level 4, and tropical level 5. Tropical level 5. So, the energy, the amount of biomass decreases from base level to the top level. Again, the pyramid of biomass also upright, except marine ecosystem. In the system, the pyramid of biomass is inverted. See children, next one. This is pyramid of energy. Amount of energy move from one level to the another level is called pyramid. It means energy flow from one tropical level to the another tropical level is called pyramid. Pyramid of energy. You can see here, in the first level how many apples are there? 7. Second level 3. Third level 1. At top level just half of the piece. So, one level to the another level, the number of apple decreases, so that the base to the top, the available energy also decreases. So, number of energy also, pyramid of energy also upright or straight. You can see energy of flow. Here producers 4,500 kilojoules. Here total amount of energy is 5,000 kilojoules. The plant producer utilize energy about 4,500, just 500 kilojoules energy transferred to the primary consumers. Then primary consumer to the secondary consumer just 75 kilojoules. From secondary consumer to the tertiary consumer just 7 kilojoules. So, from producer to the tertiary consumer, the energy, the amount of energy decreases, so that the energy pyramid is always upright. Last one, project. Collect the information on food habit of different animal. What body parts do they use to gather food? Pollution is increasing every day on earth. What happens if decomposers or saprophytes are absent in the environment? Think and write a project on it. Last one, let's nurture the nature so that we can save the better future. See children, this is ego, this is eco. Ego versus eco. What is mean by ego? Ego is a rolling over. In this system, shareholder want to get something from the environment, and in the ecosystem, the financial capital is more important than other contribution of environment. In this system, the transaction lack of transparency. So, this is egoism. In the ecosystem, in the biological system, every organism, all stakeholders committed to contribute something and share all ecological services equally. In this system, the transaction is very transparent. So, which one do you want, ego or eco? Definitely eco. So, that let's nurture the nature so that we can save the better future. So, children, today we are discussed about what do animals eat, different adaptations and ecological pyramid, pyramid of energy, pyramid of biomass, pyramid of number. Tomorrow, next class, we are going to discuss about another topic, natural resources and biodiversity. Thank you everyone.